Here's a little more broad question, but I think it's actually good. How do you feel the pandemic has changed church life? Attendance and finances, will it go back to pre-pandemic, or is this the permanent course change for us?
Well, I think that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I wish I could. I wish we had a crystal ball in knowing what was coming next. I mean, just based on what I read, and we're keeping an eye on a lot of our trends. I think the one of the themes in what I see other people writing and prognosticating is that we're never going back. We're never going back to where we used to be. And I think that's probably right in a lot of ways. So I think this is a very liminal and fluid time when congregations are going to be, having to adapt to a lot, just as they've had to adapt to a lot in the last 15 years. I think one of the one of the most exciting and wonderful outcomes of this is seeing how congregations have been so resourceful and nimble and quick to adapt to, things like digital worship. And that's really hopeful to me. I find great hope in how congregations have persevered in the midst of this. But I do think we're in for a continued time of change as we emerge from this post-pandemic era, because things are very, what I'm seeing in churches is a variety of different patterns, in how churches are choosing to move forward at this point. And so I think there's going to be continued change and continued uncertainty with all of the bad and some good that comes with it. So I don't think we're probably going back to normal. I think there's going to still be a real time of change and growth and disruption. Lovett, do you want to say?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also very different depending on region of the country that you live in. My church's building is still closed to everybody except for staff. And I know that that's not the case in other churches in other parts of the country, because people's sensibilities are very different. And so I think there's just going to be great variety in the ways that different congregations are going to be carrying forth their ministry in the next 6, 12, however many months.